Hey legends, welcome along to Sceam Me Up Botty. I am your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting on to Star Trek once again with Season 2, Episode 11 of the original series called Friday's Child. This one here, for me, not the best episode in the run of the show, but great for Dr. McCoy. We get a little bit of a deeper story for him in this episode. Plot, very simply, as the Enterprise arrives at Capella IV, I do believe, me and Roman numerals, IV4, I believe. They're there to negotiate a mining contract for a valuable mineral. The Capellans are a violent and warlike race, but incredibly honest. So Kirk beams down to the planet with Dr. McCoy, Spock's with him as well, and the security officer, and they find that a Klingon emissary called Crass is there. The Capellans order Kirk and his party to hand over their weapons, as the Klingon has done. You know, they're having this back and forth and whatnot about the Klingons been untrustworthy, they're a warlike race and whatnot, but these Capellans is like, well, this guy showed up and gave over his weapons. You know, the Enterprise crew are ready to fight, basically, at the beginning of the episode. And the Capellans see that as a kind of an untrustworthy move. And in their eyes, at this point, they can trust the Klingon more than the Enterprise crew. But, yeah, Kirk's security escort is killed for drawing a weapon on the Klingon, and they did I even read that right? My handwriting is so shocking. I could have been a doctor. Yeah, they're ordered to hand over their weapons, and yeah, the Klingon's already done that, despite killing Kirk's security escort for drawing a weapon on the Klingon. They treat the party as honoured guests, essentially. The Capellan's leader, Akar, favours the Federation's offer over that of the Klingons. However, another Capellan named Mab challenges his leadership. Fighting breaks out among the Capellans, and Mab kills Akar, taking over leadership of the community there, winning the title of Tier. He orders the death of Ellen, Akar's pregnant wife, who is played by Julie Newmar. So, like, everybody tends to know Julie Newmar as the Catwoman from the 60s Batman series. So, nice to see her in something a little bit different. I've probably seen her in a mess load of things over the years, but just watching this episode back, I can't recall anything other than Batman, so it was nice to see her in here. But, yeah, again, not a fantastic episode, but nice to see her in there. Because she has the onboard child, this represents competition to Mab's role. Kirk, Spock and McCoy manage to escape, take her with them into some nearby hills, while the party of Capellans pursue them, trying to hunt them down. McCoy is determined to assist with the pregnancy of this woman, and it's not an easy thing for McCoy in this episode, because this woman is like, you know, she's the property of the chief, sort of a thing, and nobody's allowed to touch her and whatnot. But McCoy, Ben McCoy, is just flat out like going to town on her. He's just like, you know, I'm a doctor, I'm going to help you out, I don't give a damn who you belong to or whatever, you know, I'm going to touch you and help you deliver this child and whatnot. And she kind of softens towards him in the episode, and she lets him, because she's heavily pregnant, she can't climb hills and whatnot in this escape. And eventually she's like, you know what, McCoy can help me, nobody else can. So she softens towards him in a big way. So he succeeds winning the cooperation from her, but she cannot reconcile herself to bearing the child, who in her culture will belong to no one. McCoy tells her to repeat the words, "The child is mine." But she misinterprets this, thinking McCoy is claiming the child as his own. So there's a bit of comedy in there, some dry humour and whatnot, and McCoy kind of ends up in the reluctant role as the father to this thing in the episode. But very, very well done, and just the back and forth between McCoy and her in this episode is great. It gives McCoy a little bit more to do than his normal procedure in the show. So yeah, that's what it is. The delivery of the baby is successful, but Kirk is unable to reach the Enterprise using their communicators because the starship has been drawn away by a false distress call. So the Klingons are screwing with the Enterprise in space, send them off on a false little distress call, just killing time, just been assholes as per usual. Coming up towards the end of the episode, the Capellans arrive, and Ellen escapes to surrender to Mab, claiming that she killed the humans. When Cross questions her story, he pulls out a Federation phaser that he had retrieved earlier and threatens everybody. Mab sacrifices himself to draw Cross's fire, and the Capellan warrior kills the Klingon at the end of the episode. At this point, the team from the Enterprise beams down, prevents further violence, and back in the Enterprise, it's revealed that Ellen, acting as the child's regent, has authorised the mining agreement with the Federation, and that the child has been named Leonard James Akar because of his. Because of this, Spock predicts that Kirk and McCoy will be insufferably pleased with themselves for at least a month. So of course we get that little ending that we're used to in Star Trek, where they wrap up the episode and you get that little ending where the crew stands on the bridge of the Enterprise and has a little laugh to themselves. So it is Star Trek, but again, not the strongest episode you're ever going to see from the original series. But we're into season 2 here, episode 11. So up to this point, you've got a full season of season 1 there, all very, very good. I don't think there's any bad episodes on there. Definitely all stuff that I would sit down and watch over and over again if I came across it in reruns. But to get into season 2 and as far as episode 11 before you get an episode which isn't bad really, but not the strongest, not the best that could be coming from a show like Star Trek. So fantastic. There's not much on the reports here about the reception of the episode. All I could find was writer DC Fontana said she wanted a story about a strong woman who did not necessarily want children. Her original idea was used largely unchanged, with the major execution being the addition of the Klingons. The major exception, being the addition of the Klingons. Zach Hanlon of the AV Club gave the episode a B+, praising it for giving McCoy a stronger presence and better lines. That's it. If that wasn't McCoy in this episode, going through this whole thing with her trying to get her through a pregnancy and giving birth and whatnot, and inadvertently offering himself to be the father of the child when it's born, fantastic. It really brings the episode to life. If it wasn't for that, McCoy and his little piece within this episode, I think it would have been a complete dud. But it is what it is. Right, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Swift one for today. I will be back on Monday with some more Star Trek. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you all then. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.